We've all heard of the Harry Potter book series. Some of us have read all the books, some have only seen the movies, some die-hard followers read the books and watch the movies over and over. Most people are familiar with the name J.K. Rowling as well, knowing her as the author of the famous series. But how many people know much more about her than that? Jump on your broomstick or catch the Hogwarts Express and let us take a look at the woman who dreamt up some of the most bewitching characters of our time. J.K. Rowling was born in Gate, England on July 31st, 1965 as Joanne Rowling. As a child, J.K. attended St. Michael's Grade School before moving on to Wyadine Comprehensive School and College. She loved school and had a thirst for knowledge, quite like some of her book characters do. Throughout lower-level schooling, though, she was teased and called Rolling Pin by her classmates, and so never really warmed to her own last name. J.K. has mentioned in interviews that while not caring for her own last name then, she did favor the name Potter, ironically. She has also mentioned that she had a best friend by the name of Sean Harris, whom she dedicated her second Harry Potter book to. Sean was the first of her friends to learn to drive, and he owned an original Ford Anglia that they would drive around in. J.K. would discuss her ambitions to be a writer, and Sean was the first person to support her. If one remembers correctly, in J.K.'s books, the flying car mentioned is a Ford Anglia. After finishing school at Wyadine, J.K. went on to study French and Classics at Exeter University. She obtained a job at Amnesty International, a charity which campaigns against human rights abuse throughout the world. It was on a train ride from Manchester to London that J.K. first conceived the notion of Harry Potter. Her train had been delayed for 4 hours. She had no pen to write with, and she was too embarrassed to ask for one. And yet, she constructed characters in her mind that would eventually blossom into the ones we know today. During the next 5 years, she outlined plots for each book and began writing the first one. In 1990, J.K.'s mother passed away from multiple sclerosis. She was very close to her mother, which fueled the tragic emotions surrounding her character Harry Potter as he dealt with his own parents' deaths in her book. J.K. Rowling moved to Portugal during the years she constructed her novel's outlines. She obtained a job teaching English as a foreign language and soon after married George Arantes. They had a child, Jessica, 1 year later in 1993. J.K.'s marriage to George ended a few years later in divorce, and so she moved to Edinburgh, UK with her daughter. It was here that she finished her first Harry Potter novel. After being rejected by 12 major publishing houses, a small publisher agreed to take her book, simply because the editor's daughter absolutely loved just the first chapter, before even reading the rest. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was published in June 1997. The books were published under the name of J.K. Rowling, the K standing for Kathleen, her grandmother's name, and was added and abbreviated because the publisher thought a woman's name as an author would not appeal to a target audience of young boys. The book skyrocketed, though, and sold millions of copies. Each preceding book in the series continued to top the last one in record sales. The seventh and final book of the series was published in 2007. Warner Brothers secured rights to the books and made them into the ever-popular movies we all know so well today. J.K. Rowling maintained close guidance and specifications for all 7 films, making sure the films stay close to the original plot. She mentions that she preferred all characters to be played by British actors, and that filming would only be done in Britain. She has no other plans to continue on to a new Harry Potter book, though, but she has written some small novels which are related to studies Harry went through at Hogwarts School, and also a short story about grown-up Harry Potter, called Pottermore. J.K. Rowling has also written a few crime novels under the pseudonym Robert Galbraith. She is currently working on a screenplay for her novel Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, an original story set again in the wizarding world. Since J.K.'s early days of struggling as a single mother, much has changed. She has since remarried and currently lives with her husband, Dr. Neil Murray, in Scotland with their children. The pair has 2 children together, and Rowling has one, Jessica, from her previous marriage. Thanks to her wildly successful writing career, Rowling now finds herself the 13th wealthiest woman in Britain, overshadowing even the Queen. She has given commencement speeches at Harvard University in the United States and received numerous awards for her writing. JK supports varied charities as well and even has her own trust fund and charity. Her charity is called Lumos, and it helps to transform the lives of disadvantaged children. Without J.K. Rowling, the world would never have gotten to meet Harry Potter. Her imaginative mind will undoubtedly put forth more riveting works in her future. Thank you.